I'll mention just one or two facts about the genome that are kind of fun. Most of your genome does not consist of genes. In fact, genes are only about 1.5% of your genome. Most of your genome consists of repetitive elements that are autonomous, replicating elements that copy themselves and, on evolutionary timescales, move around your genome. They hop around. So if this is your genome here, half of it is filled with these repetitive elements who are interested only in their own reproduction. They make copies of themselves into RNA. Those copies are copied back into DNA, and they get slammed into the chromosome. See, there we go. They get pushed right into the chromosome there. And over the course of time, they account for about half of your total sequence. Now, what's very interesting about these repeat elements is whenever they hop, whenever they do this, they go whoop, whoop, they bring with it the sequence of the ancestral element from which the copy was made. But when they land there, they're usually broken, and so they begin to build up mutations. That means they're a historical relic, and we can tell how old they are by how much they've built up mutations. In fact, we can tell whether two copies of this repeated element are cousins or close brothers that were born at the same time because they have the same distinctive sequence characteristics. In fact, we can build an entire phylogenetic tree relating the origins of all of these repeated elements in your genome to tell which ones are part of a SIB ship that hopped 1 million years ago, or dispersed themselves 20 million years ago, or as far back as 800 million years ago. All of that is there. So our chromosomes, we now realize, are a geological record. There are all sorts of geological fossils, about 3 million geological fossils, all of which have dates on them. From that, we can, for example, tell, just the simplest thing, what the rate of this transposition has been over the course of time. If we go all the way back, reaching back beyond half a billion years, about 3/4 of a billion years, the rate was sort of constant. It shot up around 75 million years ago, and then, interestingly, the rate at which these elements have been hopping around our genome has plummeted in the last 30 million years. This is a major ecological, change. We don't understand what's happened. Why have these things stopped hopping? This, by the way, has consequences. Since this accounts for half your genome, this means that in the long run, our genomes are going to get smaller because there's a deletion process that deletes these. And if you're not replacing them, the equilibrium size of the genome is going to get smaller. Now, don't worry too much about it because the time constant on this is pretty long. The rate of deletion of useless DNA is about, we house clean our useless DNA with a half-life of about 800 million years. So this effect will kick in the next several billion years or so. But nothing to get too excited about. But it is very interesting biologically because this fact I'm telling you is not true about the mouse. In the mouse, it appears that the rate of transposition has continued just fine. It's something different between the hominid lineage and the rodent lineage. And if I had time, I'd tell you about a population genetic hypothesis that explains it in terms of the effective population size of hominids versus rodents.